Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to have a very interesting conversation. Someone close to me, someone I've said close to me, but I've only known for a while. That's crazy. that's crazy. But anyway, she makes content on YouTube, so I have watched a lot of her videos. And when you watch people's videos on YouTube and you relate with them, you find that you build a connection with them. So you can be like, you know, the person in a sense, even if you haven't really met them in person. So I can say I've known her for a while. Yeah. So welcome. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Great having you on the podcast. We're going to have a very, very nice time. I know that you have the energy, and I need that energy here today. I need that energy here today. I've watched your videos, and yes, you're really, really confident. You've been doing it for a while, so the camera isn't scaring you. Is it?
No, it's cool.
It's not, eh? Nice. Nice. All right. So what can you say about yourself that the viewers don't know?
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Mwanguzi, aka Sarah Victorious. That's my username on my YouTube. Please check it out. I am a UI UX designer or product designer. So I design applications and systems for a living. Then I also make content on YouTube. I'd actually taken long without introducing myself as a YouTuber because it's like I've been on a break, but I'm back, guys. So when you go to my channel, you'll find content and expect more content. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
It's actually funny. Most YouTubers don't really introduce themselves as YouTubers. It's like a career path that hasn't been recognized in society yet. So, and also many of us YouTubers, let's say per se, is because we're not really making money out of YouTube yet. You know, it's just starting. You're trying to get your page running and monetized. So
yeah.
I mean, when you're making good money from it, then you can call yourself a YouTuber, like, you know, because now it's your profession.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a topic about just being self-made. You know, you told me a few minutes ago, or even yesterday when we were talking, how you've just moved into your new place and, you know, now you're on your own, you know, self-made, no longer under your parents' guidance. I made a video 3 months ago and I had moved out, so I also had my own experience like that. So we can just share our points of views, how things have been. You've just got into it. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, so self-made journey. Okay, for me, I feel like, of course, moving out of your parents' house is one thing, and it's it's very nice. I highly recommend, by the way. Though I also understand that, what's it called? Like in African society, they have this thing of, especially for females, there's this thing of, oh, you know, you have to leave your parents' house when you're married, because when you don't, it paints a certain image, which absolutely makes sense, by the way. But then to what extent? It's a real thing, yeah.
Whoa.
Even me, like, to convince my parents to let me move out, it was some stuff of, but you know, we can allow you to drive from here and you go to office, which is not a bad idea, by the way. I really don't mind. But I was like, for me, it was from the point of, I'm putting myself in a difficult position of, I'm getting tired and I'm also trying to make society happy. And just society is not going to get me the man that they want me to leave, you know, my parents' house with. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's just, for me, it's and I get it, like, it makes sense, culture and stuff like that. I don't disagree with culture, but I'm just like, now for me, it was from the point of, you have to get the bag, you get, because I hate it when I have to maybe ask my dad for money as small as, Daddy, I'm going to town and I need transport, you get. Like, to me, it doesn't sit well. So I'd rather I maybe move to somewhere where I encourage myself to make more money, you get. Because you see also, like, the years we're in now, I'm in my 20s now, and like, this is a time when you have to do things.
This is the time when you have to do things.
This is the time you have to do things, yeah. So, like, if you're going to say, you know, take the risks later, it doesn't get better later, trust me. Later, you're going to have children. Later, you're going to have more responsibilities, you get. And then you find that it will be sort of hard for you to take on certain things because in this moment of your life, you have not trained yourself to be the risk taker, you get. Like, for me, when I think about it, and I was telling my mom, Mommy, I understand culture,
Yeah.
but the truth is, you'll be very happy when, let's say, you're saying, "Oh, I'm starting a project and I need maybe 10 million," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm giving you half that money." You get,
Yeah,
or
because if you know you're working, she knows you're working.
exactly, yeah. So for me, that's now the perspective on, let's say, moving out. I don't know for you how it's going on your end.
So yeah.
And
On my end, moving out has been mind opening, because I was under a blanket of my
Right.
parents just taking care of me,
Yeah.
food, everything, shelter. Like I don't think I ever put in much effort on myself. Like except just I decided to get some responsibilities, put some responsibilities on myself that I could
Right.
take on while I was still staying at my parents' house. So I didn't feel like I'm just staying home
I
and
feel.
and just eating food and just
Food.
sleeping and just and that wasn't it.
Yeah.
So when coming to the thought of moving out, I was like, this is really going to be the testing point. Like, how much of a man am I?
Yeah.
Have I really grown? Am I still a boy? So it's now 3 months down the road, and I'm happy. I'm still going hard. I've
That's
actually
nice.
paid rent for this month. So
Congratulations.
yeah, the past 3 months are done. When you just move into a new
They
apartment,
ask
you're
for
paying
3
for 3 months rent.
yeah.
So my 3 months are done. Now this month I paid rent, so everything seems to be going well, and I hope to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Like no mishaps, nothing. Just keep it that way.
Yeah, and I actually also highly recommend it for guys, because I feel like our generation, no offense to the men in my age group,
Yeah.
but there's so many soft men, it's disgusting. So you find that, and I'm not saying you have to move out of your parents' house. You don't have to, by the way, if you don't feel like it. These things we are just discussing opinions from experiences and just things that we see around. You get, but when you find that our generation has a lot of soft men, because you find that you'll go on a date with someone and they're like, oh, it's 36,000 first, bring you 20K, because it has never happened to me, because I'm just like, nah. Sometimes I can almost feel that energy from someone, so I'd make sure I don't go out with them.
They want you to split the
They want
budget.
to split the bill, yeah. And I'm
bill.
like, we can't be doing this, you get it? And I'm not saying it's bad to split the bill. It's just, for me, it's just not my cup of tea. Honestly, I'm just like, be a man, like this,
Actually, when you're talking about your experience, the whole culture thing, how your parents want you to be in the house, and the only time you move out is when you're married. The thought came to my head, and I was like, culture nowadays, most men want to get women who are doing well, at least for themselves.
Yes.
But also when they know that, yes, you can rely on me, but at least for some things, you can, at least for some things you can take care of. And then now when you talk about how you're going for a date and you have to split the bill, now those guys are not really gentlemen.
Yeah, they're not, and the thing is, it's very common. It has never happened to me, going on a date with someone. But I also feel like now this whole thing of, because being, I feel like we're going to talk more about this, but you ain't even just moving out. But there's that way moving out of your parents' house as a man, it makes you gain some level, like Chris explained, it gives you some sort of responsibility. And for me, I'm of the view that, of course, you have to live within your means. But I feel like men and women have it differently. I was actually talking about this with my workmates last night, and we're talking about how men will be like, as long as I can put my head somewhere and I can shower and then that's okay. And then women, it's like, oh, I just want convenience, Yes, but then it's also, because even when I was looking for a place, one of my students was saying, you can just find a place and you can, this amount of rent is manageable, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I get you, but it's not convenient to me. For me, I have this thing of, I would rather work hard to get the life I want than lower my guard. You get, if let's say I'm earning 1 million right now, and maybe my rent is let's say 400K or 500K, and maybe but now you see, it leaves me with 500K, and 500K technically is really not enough to get other things going. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get another job, or I'm going to start selling a course or something. For me, that is just how I see things. I'm just I would rather work harder than try to make the 1 million be enough for me. You get?
Yeah.
Because as they are like sulking in the 1 million, there's someone who that is rent to them. Like just your salary
Yeah.
is someone's rent. You get?
Yeah.
There's someone out there that's paying, let's say, 3 million rent, and they are unbothered, by the way. And for you there, you're making noise because, oh my God, like, and I understand, like, of course you have to start, humble beginnings and everything. You can't have everything together. And now actually this also takes me to like another, should I say, part of being self-made. Of course, self-made is beyond just you working on yourself, or you also need to ask God to like help you make the right decision and stuff like that. But the point I was trying to bring here is that so many times what stops many of us from doing certain things is because we want things to be fully planned out. You get? I'm a planner. Those people who really like planning, like even when I was moving out, I was like, I want my place to be like this and this and this. But I told myself, Sarah, if you have the rent, surely you'll be able to buy the furniture you want. You will figure it out. You get? Sometimes you don't have to have it perfectly. Like for me, even with my career, I didn't start when I was like, oh, now I have gone to over this school, I have done this and this and this. As a matter of fact, what I'm doing now is so different from what I did in uni, So it's like, I told myself, okay, if you have a laptop and you have internet, there's online courses, you can learn this stuff. You get?
Yes.
And then when of course, with my parents, it was a bit tough because it was like, girl, you did accounting. Why are you not going to be out there to go, like, to be an accountant? Why are you not doing CPA? And I was just like, no, I'm done pleasing you. Because for me, for most of my life, especially academically, it felt like I was doing subconsciously. I also didn't know, by the way. But then I also feel like some of these things happened because I wasn't sure what I wanted. And it's fine. I'm glad I went through it. But it was more like I was doing things because Daddy has said, accounting is the thing, And with our parents, they see certain jobs of you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer, you have to be an accountant.
You need to have a label somewhere on your name. Yeah.
So if I tell my Daddy, I'm going to be doing video editing, what do you mean? Because I also did video editing at some point, like on the law. Like I've done so many things, honestly.
Everything just comes
I've done so many things, but like it was the thing of I just woke up one day and I said, I think this is what I want. If I have somewhere to start from, I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm telling you, what you have, you don't have to be as rich as maybe the person you're seeing talking about a certain thing, talking about their journey or so. You really don't have to be like them, but you need to recognize that where you are, there's an opportunity, and it's from there that you start to add on. But most times we're looking at like, oh my God, if I'm going to be a content creator, I need a camera. When I started my YouTube channel, I had a techno phone. I didn't even joke.
But back then, techno phones were something.
No,
if you had
iPhones are still that thing.
When was that?
I said like in lockdown.
Lockdown?
Yeah.
Okay, lockdown, techno phones, the fire had gone down. But way back, in 2016, 2017, if you had a techno, you're the shit. You're the shit.
Yeah, but like it's a thing of you see what you have present and then you try to make it work for you.
Make it work for you.
Then eventually that's how like opportunities start to find you and stuff like that. Like if you're out there, it's like if you're out there doing something that you don't love, but there's something else that you like, that you really feel like you can make, money something out of. Go for it. This is the time, especially if you're like in like 20s. Even, okay, I feel like as long as you're still alive, you have a chance to make things happen.
Yeah.
But if you're in your 20s, you definitely have more energy than like a 40-year-old. Just that things, you really don't have anything to lose.
They usually say specialize in something. And when you specialize in something, you over time, you can earn a lot more pay. But in Kampala, in Uganda, things don't seem to be like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be like that. There are people who have masters, and yes, you have the label doctor somewhere or the label accountant somewhere, but your pay isn't reflecting of your title. It isn't. So even I was surprised when I was told sometime that the accountants were paid around 350,000.
Yes.
It was crazy. I was like, what?
Yes.
350,000 accountant.
For balancing those books.
It's crazy stuff.
And
I might even be overhyping like the the amount of money they're making. Maybe it's even less, lower than that. Like, it's crazy. So if you have the chance to like pick up on different interests, just pick up on different interests. It's that simple. Don't tell yourself, no, it's only this. I have to become an accountant. I don't know. Yes, you have
those jobs that our parents label as successful.
You have the degree. You did that. Let it be there, but try and do something else. That's the whole point of being self-made. Like, being self-made means being adaptable, being flexible,
stepping out of your comfort zone.
Stepping out of your comfort zone. If you see things are not working, like they're just not going straight, sit down and just reassess yourself now. Find something else to do.
Maybe also something that causes people not to attack some of these things. You get, it's the thing of being comfortable and being being like, how can I put the whole idea of change and trying something new is like, no, I can't, I don't think I can handle that. You get, like, they are used to a certain system and it almost feels like stepping out of it, there's so many uncertainties and everything, which is very true. Which is very true. But then it's like, you can't keep up. Like, at the end of the day, you'd rather do the thing and it just doesn't work out, but you did the thing. Because I'm telling you, like, right now,
you're going to beat yourself up if you don't do it.
You're going to beat yourself up, and you're going to be like, it's only you to blame, by the way.
It's only you to blame.
Even if you say, but you see, my parents told me you can only blame your parents for so long. Even these things where, because I realize now, like, say the older generation and also our generation, you know how, like, lately there's people discovering their traumas and stuff like that, and knowing that, okay, maybe I'm an avoidant because of a certain thing I experienced when I was young. I feel like you reach a point where you can no longer blame the people that raised you for certain things, you get. Like, you need to work on yourself. You recognize the situations, you recognize what causes you to behave a certain way, and then you try to, I feel like I've gone off a bit, but on the thing of like, I think I was trying to say about like people being scared, it's very, like, change is bound to be there, whether you like it or not. It's like, you see, when COVID came, we were all used to, you have to be in office to get work done, you get. But right now, I would kill to work from home. Like, because just like, it's a new thing that came around and I'm like, okay, this is actually not so bad. You can actually have a table, put your laptop, pay for Wi-Fi, and you're working and you're making money.
You're making money,
And you could even be making more money than the person that's going to office.
Down.
Thank you. Yeah, but I feel like most times we are so afraid of taking risks. And there's a book I think I read, it's called Who Moved My Cheese. It's basically about change. I highly recommend. I don't know if you've read it.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, that will be like a story for another day. But in that book, it talks about how so many times we stay stuck in situations because we are used to a certain thing. Maybe just a little bit in on the book. There was, let me try to really like cut it short. But yeah, in the book, there's 3 mice and then there's 3 little humans, right?
Yeah.
So they all used to look for cheese. So cheese in this situation being the things that we want in life. So maybe money, fame, good job, good partner, all that stuff,
all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So the mice and actually, it was 2, not 3. The mice and the, what are they called? And the little humans, they were looking for cheese, right? So eventually they find the cheese being the things they just explained. So now the humans, they got so used to the cheese that they almost felt entitled to it, you get. The mice, on the other hand, they were enjoying the cheese, but then they started noticing, the cheese is reducing, it's changing in taste and stuff like that. So we need to be ready for when a crisis comes. And eventually the crisis came. So it was easy for the mice to adjust because for them, they're already observing the changes that were happening to the cheese. The humans, they kept on complaining like, no, we are entitled to this cheese. It's going to come back, And then they spent so much time trying to wait for the cheese to come back and it never did, you get. And then Now, for the mice, eventually they found new cheese that was even better than the cheese that was this side. And now for them, they started living their best life and everything. And now the humans are here contemplating, no, the cheese, it's ours, we're entitled to eat. Yeah, who moved our cheese? Like, this is our cheese. Who moved it? Yeah. So eventually, one of the humans started to look for cheese. And long story short, they eventually found it, but it was a bit tough. And now this other person that they left at the old cheese station, they just kept on staying there and complaining and stuff like that. So in all this, what it shows is that, what I'm trying to bring here is that change is bound to happen. Situations are bound to change at any point in life.
And it also gives you a very precise look at different types of people.
Yeah.
The other person still stayed there. The other one decided to,
Exactly.
after complaining for a while, everything snapped. They got back into reality.
Exactly.
And the person went to look for better cheese. And then the mice are the people who are very adjustable. They're always trying to make things happen. They don't want to just settle and just not do nothing.
Yeah.
They decided to move out. Immediately they noticed even just signs out.
Exactly.
Looking for better cheese. Yeah, nice.
So that's the thing. It's for me, every time I feel like I'm slacking on something, it's that book just comes back to my head, And in so many things, even there's somewhere I was working and I was just like, this place is not for me anymore. And by the way, the longer it takes you to leave a toxic situation or a situation that doesn't serve you anymore, the more damage that is made.
Yeah.
If you stayed in a toxic relationship, let's say I am dating guy X, and this guy is beating me, and I stay. By the time I say, okay, I'm leaving this guy, I have a lot of emotional baggage to deal with.
Yeah.
And yet, if I'd gone away from the start, I would have found the love of my life. You get.
True.
So yeah, that's pretty much
you
it.
Live that relationship with a lot of emotional baggage, and then also go and put it on someone else.
Thank you. And then
because you didn't run away when the time was right. You stayed there.
So yeah, it's a lot, but I think maybe if I'm to maybe summarize everything that I have said, I feel like this whole thing of being self-made and going beyond your parents, first of all, it goes beyond. You reach a point where you can't blame your parents for certain things that you experienced, and also you have to study yourself and know that this works for me, this doesn't. I behave like this because of this. How do I go about this? What do I feel makes me happy? What do I feel gives me a sense of fulfillment? And how do I maybe achieve that thing if I have to do something about achieving that particular thing, you get? And of course, above all, you have to pray to God and seek the Lord, and He will guide you to the right people. And for me, I can testify that from the time I finished school, it's just been God making a way for me. And I'm also very intentional in my prayers, by the way. I'll also be like, God, I want to, let's say, get this kind of job. And I get it. For the work I do, before I even knew about UX designing, I didn't know that role was there. But somehow I've gotten opportunities within Uganda, out of Uganda, to do that particular work, you get. So it's when God surely puts something on your heart.
And when you're putting in the hard work.
And when you're putting in the hard work, by the way.
You're putting in the hard work. You're doing research.
Yes.
You're having sleepless nights on YouTube, busy trying to learn different skills.
Different things, yeah.
Yeah. Everything just seems to open up. Things just seem to open up. And also you're putting in an effort to go and meet with people, putting yourself out there. That's also another thing about being self-made.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to make it just by staying on your own, staying in your space, it's not going to happen. And I think for me, that's something that I was doing a lot.
Right.
I was doing a lot. I have here books, a ton of books. I used to read so many books and just stay in the house. Stay in the house. If I don't have pending work to do, I'm just in the house reading. Just kept to myself. And then when I decided to put myself out there and just say, let me go out and meet with people, let me talk to people, and also start my YouTube channel, speak on things. Whoa, things started opening up. All of a sudden, like people are noticing you. They are asking about,
Yeah.
oh, we saw you somewhere. Oh, what do you do? Oh, this.
Could you help me with this?
Yeah, could you help me with this? Yeah.
That's
Like,
very amazing.
if you just put yourself out there, that's where everything just changes up for you. Most people just stay in the house, and you don't even have to be a very
Social person. Yeah.
You don't have to be a social person to be out. You just have to be intentional. You just have to know what you want. Like, if you know what you want, I'm not in the slightest a social person, I would say.
Really?
Like, I'm just,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if you meet me and we speak for a while, we vibe, I'll open up, and then yes, I'll express myself. We'll start to talk. We'll get friendly. But in our first meeting, I'm just like casual. Hello.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
Same.
unless if I've seen you somewhere on the internet, maybe because I watch a lot of YouTube. So if I've seen you somewhere on the internet,
Yeah.
maybe now there's a conversation starter. There's something for me to, like, talk about, and then we can relate on. Then we talk more about it, and eventually open up. So you don't have to be very social to put yourself out there. Yeah. They always say the comfort zone. It's not you sleeping on your couch or sleeping on your bed. The comfort zone is going through a very familiar routine. Going through a familiar routine that you don't want to get yourself out of. That's what the comfort zone is. So if you can get yourself out of that familiar routine and do something different that can hopefully open up opportunities for you, everything is just going to, snap. Everything is going to become good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Sarah, for being on the podcast.
You're welcome.
Yes.
It's been nice.
It's been nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad.